Hey fashion bosses, how are you doing today? All right, like you already know, my name still remains Faith Abraham, creative director of Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. Right, always a delight for me to come share one or two knowledge with you. Okay, so in today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to cut and sew this trending bubu with the front patch and the V neck, kind of high neck, a V kind of high neck, and then the front patch. Okay, it's a very trending one right now. I believe that you will find value in this tutorial. Okay, so without so much further ado, we'll just go straight into the business of today. Like you already see, or you're seeing right now, I already have my fabric placed on my table. Okay, so I'll be cutting the front and the back panel together. Okay, so that the video will not be too long. Okay, so I already have my fabric folded in four. Okay, I have it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's this to enable us cut the entire panel together at the same time. Okay, the front panel and then the back panel. Okay, so it's a simple one. It's a simple one. I know a lot of us already know how to cut bubu, and what a lot of us also actually need is how to achieve the v-neck collar and then the patch, in the front. Okay, so that is why we are here. So the first thing we are going to do right now is to draw our starting line. Okay, I'm going to just quickly do that right now. This starting line is where all our markings will start from. So if you are still here, I want to encourage you to please kindly subscribe to this channel if you have not. You just click on the subscription button. Okay, and then do to tap on the bell. This bell enables you to get notification each and every time we drop tutorial video. Like this video, share this video with other people you think require such explicit tutorial, and also kindly give this video a thumbs up. Please kindly subscribe, because a lot of us, what we do is just come watch the videos, save the videos, and then we don't subscribe. Okay, the only thing I required of you is your subscription, and then we will keep passing on and impacting you guys knowledge wise. Okay, so kindly encourage me by subscribing. So this is our starting line. The next thing for us to do after the starting line is to impute our shoulder measurements. Okay, so the shoulder measurement for this project is 14 inches. Like we already know, you divide your shoulder measurement by 2. That is going to leave us with 7.7 inches. But because it's a bubu, what I want to do is to measure from your center back line. Okay, your center back line to where I want the sleeve of this bubu to get to. Okay, so this is the center of the bubu, be it the front panel or the back panel. Okay, so you measure from your center back line, okay, to where you want the sleeve to get. So the sleeve can get to somewhere around your elbow, from your center back line to somewhere around your elbow, or 2 inches before your elbow, however you want it. If you want it to drop more than that, it's perfect. Okay, it all depends on what you totally want. Or another way for you to achieve this is you first of all measure your back divided by 2, and then you come to where your shoulder measurement is and impute your sleeve length. So your sleeve length is from your shoulder to where you want the sleeve to get to. So I just give you 2 options, either from your center back line to where you want the sleeve to get to, or you first of all measure your shoulder and then you measure where you measure your sleeve length. It can be 10, 11, or 12 inches depending on how long or how short or how moderate you want the sleeve to be. Hope someone understands that. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm doing right here now. And then do not forget to add 2 inches seam allowance. The 2 inches seam allowance is to enable you fold the hem of the sleeve. Okay, so I've added my 2 inches seam allowance. This is to enable us fold the hem of the sleeve. Okay, so on this sleeve part right now, okay, where we have measured our sleeve, okay, I'm going to come down by 10 inches. This is the sleeve circumference. Okay, 10 inches, or let me use 10.5 inches. So this is the sleeve circumference, 10.5. Okay, so you can use between 8 and 11, 12, depending on how open you want the sleeve circumference to be. Okay, so I will just connect my lines. So that is our sleeve. So from the shoulder line, the starting line right now, we are going to measure. This does not require bust points or half length points and all of that. So I'm just going to go straight to the hip line. So we just measure our hip points. The hip point for this project is 28. So in case you're wondering, the hip point is from your shoulder to your hip point area, where the area where your hip, is um protruded, okay, or accentuates. Hope you understand that. So it's 28 inches. I'm just going to mark that, okay, and then bring it, extend it here, and then I'll extend the lines. So I'll just extend the lines. This is a hip points area. And then after, I'll measure the length of the dress. So the length of the dress is 56 inches. And then we're going to go ahead to add 2 inches to it to make it 58. Okay? So this is the length of the dress. We are just going to connect it. That's the length. So we'll come back to the hip area and impute our hip circumference. Our hip measurement divided by 4. Okay, so the hip measurement for this project is 42.5. The hip measurement by 4. I was trying to say that the hip circumference is 42.5 inches. So if you divide that by 4, you're going to be having 10.5 or 10.6, you know. So we're just going to impute that. So let's use 10.5. Okay. So this is it. 10.5. And then you go ahead to add a 5 inches allowance to it. Okay. So this 5 inches, is a Bubu. Is to give it that Bubu size and freedom and Bubu feel, kind of. You can actually add more. Okay. You can add between 5 and 8, depending on, it also depends on how your client wants it. Okay. So I'm going to be adding, let me add 6 inches. Okay. So that we can use the 1 inches as the seam allowance, and then the 5 inches for the ease around the Bubu. Okay, for the ease for the Bubu. Okay. So this is it. Some people can actually do go ahead to use everything, okay? But given the size of the person we are working with, we don't want it to be extra bogus. We also, need some fitness, on the outfit. So whatever you have here, you are going to measure everything you have here. I think we should be having about 16.5 inches around here. Okay, yeah, a total of 16.5 inches. And then you bring the same to the M of your Bubu. Okay, 16.5 inches. Okay. So we have 16.5 inches here. And then we are just going to connect all the way from the hip line down to the hem of the Bubu. You can choose to, leave a slit on the side of the Bubu, okay, if you so desire. However, so we just connect from the hip down to the hem. Basically, that's almost all about it. And then from the hip side, we'll connect down to the armhole area, okay? So from this hip now, we'll connect to the armhole area. So I'll make sure that I introduce a little curve. So I'll introduce a little curve into the armhole area, like that. Hope you understand, like this. So basically, this is how to cut the Bubu. And then let's introduce our neckline before we go, okay? So for the width of the neckline, we are going to be using, you can use between 3 and 3.5 inches, okay? So let me use 3.5 inches. You can use between 3 or 3.5. Let me use 3 inches. This is for the back neckline. And then the depth is 2 inches. Okay, and then I'll just connect. Then for the back neckline, the front neckline rather, okay, we'll cut the front neckline, but let's cut this off first. So let's cut this first and then separate the front panel from the back panel, and then we can now cut the front neckline. Okay, pockets in case you would want to fix a pocket. So I've taken off the back panel. This is the front panel. So we are going to impute a front neckline. So 3 inches for the weights. And then, you know, it's a V. It depends on how deep you want it to be. But I'm going to be using 9 inches. Okay, 9 inches. And then I'll connect. So I'll come in by 1 inch. And then I'll mark it out. Okay, and then I'll place my ruler like this and connect from the neckline into this 1 inch. I'll connect it back into the width. So that is it. The next thing is for us to cut. Okay, so you cut it like this. All right, and then like this. So this is what we have. So we are done with the cutting. This is what the front neckline looks like. Okay, you see it? This is what the front neckline looks like. Right? So the next thing right now is to join the front panel to the back panel, and then we'll get the collar and the patch on it. So I'm placing the back panel now, front side facing the front side like this. This is the back panel, as you can see, and then you will sew the shoulders. You will sew the shoulders together using a 0.5 inch. Sew it and sew the other side. Okay, and then will let us know what next to do. All right, guys, so we've joined. The next thing for us to do right now is to measure the circumference of our neckline. Okay, we can start from here. Measure it all the way around. Like this, and then like this. Okay, so what we have is 30 inches. Okay, so we are going to cut our neckline, our collar now. Okay, so I have the spaces already cut out. So the width of the collar is going to be 2 inches plus, that is on fold, plus seam allowance, making it a total of 2.5 inches. Okay, so I have this already cut out. All right, I'm going to join because I don't have sufficient fabric, so that's why I'm joining it. So I'm going to join it here back. Okay, so I'll join it to give me the length that I want. So the width of this right now is 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches. And then when you fold into 2, you're going to be having 2.5 inches. You see, 2.5 inches. So I'm going to use 0.5 inch to join this now to the collar, to the outfit. Okay, and then the collar will be left, the collar will be remaining 2 inches. I'm just going to join this so that I can have the length. It's better to have excess length than to be in short. When we join, whatever is left, we'll cut it out. This is just 22 inches. It's not up to 30 inches. The circumference is 30 inches. So I'll join this so that I'll have one lengthy piece. Hope you understand. And then I also have this cutout. This is what we're going to be using as the patch, in front of it. So this now you can really get creative about it. So you decide somewhere in your mind what shape. Okay, it really has to do with shape. Okay, no specifics in particular. So what shape do you want? Do I want a rectangle, a triangular shape, a diagonal shape, an hexagonal shape, and all of that, a circle shape, a half circle shape, whatever. Okay, a cylinder shape. Hello sisters, please choose. Okay, so that is it basically. But right here I have this inch. For those of you that likes measurement, I have 14 by 14 inches. Here is a square shape. Okay, the dimension right now is 14 by 14 inches. Okay, I know a lot of us like measurements. Give us measurements, give us measurements. What measurements did you use? So what we have here, the dimension is 14 by 14. Horizontally and diagonally is 14 by 14. So I already gone ahead to infuse my fusible interfacing on it. I use the soft paper stay, the same thing I did to the piece that we'll be using for the collar. Okay, so I haven't gotten this. I will just look at it. How do I want to position this? Do I want to, alter this shape or something? I don't know, so you just walk around it. But what I'm going to do is I can just pick up my ruler, okay, and then if I have something like this, it will be beautiful. Okay, I position. However, I'm just going to trim off this part. I'm just going to trim off this part that I'm marking right now. Okay, I didn't measure it, in case you're asking for measurements. So what we have here is 4 inches. 4 by 4. How accurate? Oh, moment. So what I use is 4 by 4. From here to here, 4 inches. From here to here, 4 inches. I didn't actually measure it, but I measured it in your presence and you saw it. So it's 4 by 4. Okay, so I'll just cut this off like this. Okay, so the next thing for you to do right now is to go take it to your ironing table and fold. You iron it, okay, like this. If you do it this way, it'll be very easy for you to place on your fabric. Okay, fold all the sides and iron, so it just keeps this in place for you by and hide this rough edges. Okay, so it will be really 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 easy for you to place on your fabric. I'm just going to place on your outfit. I'm just going to do that and then come back to us. All right guys, so I've ironed my collar. Okay, the next thing for you to do now is to fix your collar. So you open it. I mentioned earlier that you have to fold in both ends. You open it and sandwich your neckline into it like this. Okay, and then you start sewing. Okay, this way, and then you start sewing round about it like this. So you get to the other side of the neckline. Okay, hope you got that. So I'm going to do mine now and then I'll get back to us to see what it looks like before we go to the next step. Okay, all right guys, so I've sewn the collar. As you can see, it's looking also very 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 beautiful. So the next thing for us to do right now, okay, please note I did not sew on this part of the neckline. This part is that 1 inch that we came in by. Hope you understand. So I didn't sew on it, so please don't get confused. So all you need to do is to lay your collar this way, okay, and lay this other one on it. Okay, if you have excesses, you cut it off. You cut off your excesses. Okay, and then you top stitch on it. You top stitch on it to hold it in place, so it's one piece. Okay, so after doing that, this is my patch. Okay, I already showed you what to do, how I achieved this. Okay, this is my patch. I folded all the edges in to hide rough edges. So right now, as you can see, it's all shaped. Okay, it has different angles, so you just get creative about it, basically. All right, you determine how best to place it. For me, I may place it this way. You see, you make sure you're placing it on this part of the neck of the collar so that it covers whatever is left here. Okay, and you align it properly aligned, well centralized. Okay, so I can choose to place it like this. You see, it looks beautiful. I can choose to place it like this, however you want it. Okay, whatsoever angle you are using, it will come out well. I can even choose to do it like this. You see, so it's all left for me to choose what angle I want to. So whatsoever angle you have decided to use, all you need to do is to get hold of your hemming glue. Okay, you may want to pin this patch now to your fabric. Okay, but I will not want to go through that route. I'll just get my hemming glue. Okay, I'll just lay it, making sure that my pattern or my patch is properly positioned, aligned. Okay, and then I will transfer my heat, thereby holding the patch to this fabric, and then I will neatly, please, I repeat, neatly sew on the edges. You know, also taking your edges, this pointed edges, into consideration. It's very important because this edges are also part of the beauty of the design. So I neatly sew using a tight stitch, okay, and using a matching color thread, right? I'll neatly sew, you know, taking my angles into consideration. And this is for this. So basically, we are done with this tutorial. So after doing that, you just go back to your Bubu and then run your straight stitch on the side, holding the Bubu together, okay, on both sides, and you are practically done. This tutorial basically was to show us how to achieve this trending styles. So if you know this tutorial has been of great and immense value to you, please kindly subscribe, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and a share. Okay, see you guys in our next video. Do well to follow us on our social media handles, on Instagram at Fashion Boss, on Facebook at Fashion Boss Innovations. All right, see you in our next tutorial. Bye for now.